So welcome back. We're going to do question 6, and this is an elasticity question. And again, I'm getting this question from this address here. You can just see this address. You can just go to this address, okay, and follow the directions. In the previous video, I had the directions in terms of what I clicked on, but this is looking at elasticity, chapter 4. Is question number 6 from there. And what it's asking you is to calculate the price elasticity of demand for CDs in this particular range, a price range. So let's take a look. Now, if you remember from before, the equation for elasticity, and again, your symbol may be different for your textbook, it's the percentage change in quantity demanded over the percentage change in price, and that's for the price elasticity of demand. So let's look at each one. Okay, let's look at the first one, which is the percentage change in quantity demanded. Okay, so if you look at the units, quantity demanded went from 19,200 to 20,800. Okay, so always do the new one first. So 20,800 is the new one minus the old one. Okay, and that spells no, right? So new minus old. So no, just it is important to have the order proper for elasticity questions. Okay, and it's divided by the average. So we divide by the average, and this is what we call either the average value formula or the midpoint formula, depending on which book you have. So some textbooks will call it the midpoint formula, some will call it the average value formula. But the average of these two, we'll just show you. We'll just open up our calculator. Okay, the average of these two, so if we add them up, 20,800. All right, so add them up and divide by 2, and you'll get the average. Okay, 40,000. Well, 40,000 divided by 2 in this case here is 20,000. So nice, easy math in that case there. So we're pretty happy for the easy math. Okay, now the difference between these two is it should be 16,000, but let's just check. So 20,800 minus 19,200 gives us 1,600 or 1,600. So 1,600 all divided by 20,000. Okay, we can stick that into our calculator. So 1,600 divided by 20,000. Oops. There we go. Will give us 0.08. Okay, let's stick that in here. So this is the numerator, all done. 0.08. Okay, let's focus on the percentage change in price. So price fell, in this case here, and it fell from 1150 to 850. Okay, so 850 is the new price, so that goes first. So in this case here, it's going to be 850 minus 1150. And again, the average of two numbers, because that's in our denominator, add them up and divide by 2. All right, so hopefully they're doing easy math for us. So 8.5 plus 11.5 gives us 20. 20 divided by 2 will give us 10. So that's nice of them to put that easy math for us. Oh, okay. So this is going to be 850 minus 1150. Okay, so that's minus 3 over 10, and you know that to be 0.3, okay, as a decimal. Okay, so we got a positive here, we got a negative here. Now for price elasticity of demand, we don't worry about the negative sign because it's always going to be negative. Remember, a positive divided by a negative, the whole thing is negative. We don't worry about it. We take what we call the absolute value. Okay, so we have the plus 0.08 and the minus 0.3. We don't worry about them. So let's take that into our calculator. Okay, so we'll take our calculator here. So 0.08 and divide that by 0.3. And that will give us 0.26666. So we can round that off to 0.267. Now looking on our choice of answers here, take a look at our answer choice. This one looks to be the closest, so we would pick C here. Now, one thing I can't stress enough is, you can do all the calculations and you do absolutely everything right, but you accidentally have P on top instead of Q on top. Remember, Q is always on top for all the different calculations of elasticities, and in most cases you'll probably have to calculate 4 different types, so price elasticity demand, price elasticity of supply, and cross price elasticity demand and income's elasticity demand. So there's four different types. Q is always on top. Quantity is always on top. So don't forget that, because what you'll see is the wrong answers that we have there. These wrong answers aren't just random wrong answers. They're not just random wrong answers. They're wrong answers based on the common mistakes that people do. So you can do that common mistake and then see your answer there, circle it, feel good, think you got it right, but in this sense, it is wrong. So take a look here. This is the 1 over x button. This is the reciprocal. And this is if you get it mixed up. If, for example, you have price on top instead of quantity on top. Remember, quantity is always on top. Take a look here, 3.75. Notice that it's right here. Notice that it's right here, an answer for you to choose in that case there. So be very careful. Remember, when you're calculating all the different elasticities, Q is always on top. Okay, so that's what we're looking at for right now. We'll take a look at the next question in the next video. Thanks.